Very good morning to the respected professors and students present here. First, I want to make sure am I audible? Can you hear me, ma'am? Am I audible? Fine, okay. Thank you, Chief. Okay, I'll be presenting a title called Harnessing Solar Power Paves the Way for a Sustainable Future. So, yes, okay, fine. I think the presentation is clear. Let me start presenting. So before getting into the topic, just let's start with a positive vibe. Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. So never ever give up and try doing what you want to do. Right. Okay. So why we talk about solar energy? So we already know that fossil fuels already exist and we use it for current energy harvesting. The reason is fossil fuels are limited, and it's going to get extinct at certain point, right? While the solar energy is not like that. It's available every time, and it's not going to. It's infinite. It's not going to get end at a certain point, right? So fossil fuels, on the other hand, if you check, it's going to on harvesting coal or oil currently, which we use for vehicles and other electricity generation, it's going to create pollution. Coal obviously going to generate pollution if you are harvesting it, and like toxic gases which will be reduced, uh, released in the air, and similarly for oils which we use for vehicles, it's going to generate pollution, right? So that's why we need to convert to solar energy. We need to use solar energy since it's abundantly available and also doesn't release any kind of pollution. So what is solar energy? Initially, when we get the solar energy, it's going to get reflected by clouds, atmosphere, and all those things. And whatever the thing which we are getting is what we call insolation, right? So we are using this solar energy to get electricity. Obviously, how we are doing that? So that's where the electrical engineer comes here. We use solar panels to convert the solar energy to electricity. So that is the phenomena which is called as photovoltaic system, right? So actually, the solar energy which we are obtaining from the sun is electromagnetic radiation. That is the energy in the kind of form of a waves, which contains both electric and magnetic field. And the solar panels which we use contain semiconductors, which will generally get this energy, excite the electrons which is present in it, and we'll get the electricity by the movement of these electrons. That's how the solar panel actually works. So, as we already know, it is a clean energy, eco-friendly. It's not going to pollute our environment around here. That's why we are going for solar energy. Since it's abundantly available, it's infinite. It's not going to end at a certain point. So how actually solar panels work, which I have already said, the photovoltaic effect, which consists of the panel actually consists of P and N type layers, which you might have already gone through in your classes. That is semiconductor regions. Uh, the panel obtaining the energy will excite the electrons, and through the movement of electrons, we will be getting electricity, right? So generally, if you take the current, we have both DC and AC current. The concept is, uh, sorry, I think the presentation is not visible. Just a minute. Okay, I'm really sorry. I think I was not presenting the slides. Okay, the presentation is visible right now. just to show the gist of it, I have gone through the basics of solar energy. Okay. So how actually solar panels work? The photovoltaic effect, which I've already mentioned. We have both DC and AC current, which we already know. The only difference between DC and AC is that the current flows from a positive to negative direction. That is only in a single direction in DC, whereas in AC, the polarity reverses constantly with respect to time. All right. So here the current is not constant, where in DC the current is constant. So the loads which we use at our home, like the systems which we use, the air conditioners, fridge, whatever we use, certain applications involve the AC current, whereas certain applications involve DC power, right? So accordingly, we use rectifiers to, the phone which we charge actually converts the AC to DC because our phone requires DC power. All right. Similarly, certain applications require AC, for that which we use inverter. Okay. The solar, actually, the solar panel which we are obtaining, the energy which we are obtaining from the solar panel is DC. So certain applications require AC power. So there we use inverter to actually convert the DC to AC. Then we'll be using that to the applications which require that power. All right. So that's the basic thing here. This is a project which I have been working on, something related to our presentation here. How we are going to get this solar power, and using a buck converter. I think many of you might have not familiar with the buck converter. So for example, the converter, what actually it does is, it's going to reduce the voltage according to our requirements. Okay, initially the power which we are obtaining from the panel is higher than what we need. Okay, so here the battery which I want to charge require a specific amount of power or voltage. Okay. For example, if we take, we have 500 rupees notes. All right. So there, out of those 500, we just require 100, just 100 rupees note, right? So we are going to reduce that 100 rupees of amount from the total 500. So similarly here, if you are obtaining 50 voltage, we just require 20 or 25 of voltage which we require. We need to reduce it. Is any doubt? Right. So accordingly, we will be reducing this voltage according to the requirement. Here the battery's rating is 24 volt. So we need to reduce the amount of voltage which we need. That's why we are using it. And initially we will be giving the power to LED light. Okay. So it's very similar to what we do in our phones. Like we charge our phones and use it, right? So this lithium-ion battery is used in our mobile phones, which we use today. Okay. The MPPT algorithm is quite advanced topic right now, but to explain it a simple manner, let's say that man is pedaling his cycle, want to reach the top of his mountain. So if you're going to, reduce the speed of pedaling, obviously you cannot reach the top. And if you're increasing your speed, you're going to get exhausted, right? So maintaining a constant speed will help you to efficiently reach the mountain top. So similarly, here we will be adjusting the voltage and current to obtain the maximum power, for that which we use this MPPT algorithm. So applications where we use this solar power. So initially, all the electric vehicles you might have heard about charge through solar power, and that's LED systems in the roads during the vehicle traffic. Works with the solar panels, solar powered street lights which we use, and in agriculture also we use solar power irrigation pumps to work out. So these are the few examples where we implement the solar panels for the vehicles, for the street lights, and for the irrigation system. You can go through these pictures. So what are those benefits? As I've already said, it doesn't cause pollution. So we don't have these greenhouse gas emissions, chlorofluorocarbons, such kind of harmful gases, which is harmful to environment as well as human beings. So the benefits, The economic benefits, since the solar energy is free, we don't need to pay to any kind of government to use the electricity since we are harvesting from the solars, that is sun. So the challenge is obviously we need enough fund or financial support to implement solar panels since they are too costly, and we need to have these energy storage systems like batteries since the sun is available only during the morning time, and during the evening or night time the sun is not available. So during that time we need electricity, right? So we need some kind of storage systems like lithium ion batteries to store the power and use it when it is not available, the sun is not available. So these are few major solar energy hubs in India. I'll just show you one example. Uh, this one is in Rajasthan, which is called Badla Solar Park, which generates solar energy and use it for the all the required purpose. So similarly, Tamil Nadu also has a lot of installed solar panels projects where they use these kinds of solar panels to generate power. Okay, yes, just a brief explanation about the Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17 global goals where the United Nations have developed to, solve problems like poverty, climate change, and environmental damage across the nations. So we are planning, the government is planning to obtain this goals at the end of 2030, that is to eliminate poverty and the environmental damage. We know the ozone layer is damaged due to the effect of pollution, so that the radiation is, spreading throughout the environment and it's generally affecting human beings too, causing severe skin diseases. So there are such kind of things which we need to eliminate, and the usage of solar power generally comes under Goal 7 and Goal 13 of the Sustainable Development Goals. That is affordable and clean energy and climate action. So as I've already said, we already have this sun available here. But the thing is, implementing solar panels or the investment is higher. Starting investment is higher, but after we invest it, invest some amount of money there, we can generally use the solar power free of cost, and the pollution problem is eliminated, and other such kind of things. The fossil fuels are generally going to get run out. It's an extinct thing. So such kinds of things can be eliminated, and almost all the applications, all the things which we use today can come under this solar panels and solar energy. So that's all about it. Uh, any questions can be asked, feedback or questions. You can just type in chat box if anything is required. Well, thank you. If any doubts, you can text. Thank you.